Fit in 10 Nation, it is day 43. Scans are wrapped up, and all in all, big changes for almost everybody. The first 3 weeks, like I said, can be rough, and so, some people didn't do that well during the first 3 weeks, but virtually everybody did really, really well on their second scan. Everybody, with the exception of 2 people who haven't done their scans, everybody made progress. Everybody made more, virtually everybody made more progress than the first 3 weeks. If you didn't make more progress than the first 3 weeks, you still did very well. It's just that you did super well in the first 3 weeks. So, but overall, everybody did super good. So I'm really, really pleased with this. So what does this mean? Well, we have 4 more weeks, right? 4 more weeks to go, formally speaking. And I am going to run your scans during week 11. Well, the challenge is over at that point. So basically, you're going to get a couple bonus days to roll into with your diet. At that point, the macros that you got in week 10, and then we'll run your final scans. And it is a 4-week period. So you've got longer chance here, right? We can expect the most change over the next 4 weeks. Will your diet change over the next 4 weeks? Yeah, it'll change a little bit, not tremendously, but it'll change a little bit more. And of course, you're going to keep going with the cardio, which will change a little bit too. And your training, which you're becoming much more proficient with. And so you are better able to, you can make things work better for you, right? Because you know how to do everything better and better as you practice it. So you get more out of it, is my point. Okay, more questions here. Name something specific you can improve upon for the following week. Complete 3 cardio and 3 weight training sessions. Okay. Should be doing that every week. But I know this person was sick, so I understand. Okay, but back on the wagon is the point, right? Name something specific you need help with. I want to keep my weekends, Saturday, Sunday, free of any cardio or weight training sessions. You have said that it's best to keep weight training cardio on separate days. Is it acceptable to combine my cardio into 1 to 2 sessions? I.e. double up my intervals so I'm doing 18 minutes at one go. No, do not do that. So here's what I suggest that you do. 3 weight training sessions during the week, which I'm assuming you're doing, obviously. On your days off, you're going to each do 1 cardio session, and there's going to be 1 day that you will do your weights and a cardio session. Okay? But you're not going to double up your cardio. It kind of defeats the purpose. We want to keep each cardio session completely separate. Is there anything you would like me to cover in this week's video series? What do Fit in 10 participants tend to do after the program? All right, so this depends on how well a person does after or by the end of the program. So you probably want to know, what do I recommend, not what do a lot of people do, because a lot of people just, well, to be honest with you, I don't actually know what, I know what some people do. I certainly don't know what everybody does. But I should really write every single person, or at least write everybody as a group and see what they're up to, especially people I haven't seen in 2 years or whatever. But there is an exit strategy that I give you, and I have revised it challenge to challenge, and I may revise it again this challenge. But there are generally 2 routes that I have you, well, actually 3 routes that I have you go, depending on how well you did in the challenge. So there are some very specific things I want you to do. I give you the choice, basically. Or I say to you, well, look, if you just kind of want to be more generic, here's a generic way to go. If you want to be more specific and know exactly what to do day in, day out after the challenge, there is that option as well. So I give both options. In terms of doing another Fit in 10, typically speaking, If you lose about 18% of your fat mass or more, no, I wouldn't do another challenge. If you lose anything less than that, yeah, you could probably do it. If you lost like 17, maybe 18 is a bit high. I usually say 18. Safely, let's say 15. 15, do it again. Over 15, sorry, under 15, do it again. Over 15, don't do it. One-on-one training, sure. You'll always get, obviously it's more expensive, but one-on-one training you will definitely get more because I'm right there with you and I'm going to push you through each set, and I have a record of everything you're doing, so it's a little bit different. Do I recommend one-on-one training? I would recommend it to everybody, but again, it just depends on your budget, okay? When it comes to generalities with training, I would suggest that everybody, I don't know why I make it sound like I'm going to really encourage you to keep doing 3 sessions of weight training week to week, ongoing. That's what I recommend that you do, okay, in terms of exercise. Cardio, we can leave that a little bit flexible, but I'll still tell you what I want you to do. A little more generalities. We don't have to keep doing intervals. All right, I'm gonna leave it at that. But you'll get an exit strategy when the challenge is over. Okay. All right. More of your questions here. Okay. That's weird. I just read that one. It must be a duplicate. Sometimes these show up as duplicates. I don't know why. Maybe get sent in twice. This person writes, name something specific you can improve upon for the following week. Now improved on weighing each ingredient. Still looking to achieve more weight loss. Okay, so when you name something that you're going to improve upon, I want something very specific, right? You need to be as specific as possible. Something that you can be accountable to. So be very specific. Okay, for example, I'm going to do 3 weight training sessions this week if you weren't doing 3. I'm going to do, actually more specific than that, I'm going to do a weight training session on Monday, Tuesday, and Thursday at 5:15 p.m. I will be there. There, you can be that is something you can own up to and be accountable to. It's very specific. Name something specific you need help with. Be very specific, please. Continuing to work on fat loss. Okay, so yes, so I will speak to you more personally on this because I know your situation and what's going on. So there's no sense in me talking to everybody about this. Is there anything you would like me to cover in this week's video series? Why it takes some people longer to achieve fat loss. All right, so there's always going to be some difference among people. Unless you have some sort of metabolic disease, some abnormality, metabolically speaking, there's not that much difference between people. Can there be some difference? Of course there can. A huge difference? Not really. Usually the difference just lies in adherence. And that is just the truth. Now, that's not to say that you or whoever, if you're somebody who's not losing as much, that you're not, and you're like, sneaking food in or something like that. It can very well be mistakes that you're doing, right? Just mistakes that you're making. And so, when you think you're getting, 1,500 calories or something, whatever, let's use macros, okay? Whatever prescribed macros that you're supposed to be having, you're actually having, more than that. And sometimes it's just a little bit here, and then it's a little bit here, and it's a little bit here, and a little bit here. And the thing is it adds up to be enough because there's so many discrepancies. But generally speaking, why does it take some people longer? It's because they are just not adhering to what they should be doing. There is a lot of diets you can follow. There are many eating methods or strategies, all designed at the end to be in a calorie deficit. That's how they work. They're disguised to be like, the no carb diet, which is like the secret thing that is going to really, really help you. No, it's just you're lower in calories. I wish there was some magic to it. I used to think there was. I used to really think there was, but there just isn't. It's just you have to be in a calorie deficit. 3 things that I really want you to do if you're going to lose weight loss, if you want to lose fat, weight train, be in a calorie deficit, make sure you get enough protein, okay? But not too much of a calorie deficit, okay? Enough of a calorie deficit, all right? And again, how do we figure out your calories? Well, we look at a few things. We look at your age, we look at your sex, and we look at your lean body mass, okay? And then with that, we can make a good assessment based on the amount of exercise you're doing, what we're going to give you, okay? So it's probably an adherence thing, and believe me, I've worked with a lot of people. Some people, and I swear to you, I'm not saying this to you, because there's actually somebody else I'm thinking of, not in this challenge, that sometimes people, they're not honest with you, okay? And I'll give you one example. There was one client I had, who will remain nameless, who just for the life, like I actually got to the point with her where I'm like, okay, I want you to order all these blood tests. I sent her the blood tests I want her to get done, because I'm like, we need to figure out what's going on with your metabolism, because this doesn't make sense. She swore me up and down. And then all of a sudden, at some point, her wedding was coming up. At some point, she just started losing weight. I'm like, I was about to say her name. At some point, this person just started losing weight. I'm like, well, what changed? Like, what's going on? And then just a smirk came on her face. And I was like, oh my God, I got duped. I totally got duped. So, again, it's just adherence. Again, I'm not saying this to anybody if you're this person or anybody who is this person who feels like they should be, that they're not losing. I'm not saying you're doing it on purpose. I'm just saying that generally it's an adherence. As to why that is, it's hard to say. Oh my God, I'm at 12 minutes. Okay. Day 43, message of the day. Don't limit your challenges. Rather, challenge your limits, right? Don't limit your challenges. Nothing really related to today, but just want to remind you, don't limit your challenges. Always strive for more. Always, sometimes in different ways I can be this way myself. I'll limit my challenges. Then all I have to do is watch somebody who's like doing, like 100 times more than I'm doing. And then it just becomes like, and then I look at what I have to do and I'm like, okay, this is nothing. This is nothing. You can do this. So, Elon, I realize this is like probably the biggest outlier ever to maybe ever exist. But like Elon Musk is one of those people. And so sometimes, you just got to look to a certain outlier to at least, sometimes you look at somebody who's so ridiculous in what they're doing, it makes what you're doing seem so easy that you can kind of sit back and say, okay, let's just get this done. Anyways, I think you understand what I'm saying. Don't limit your challenges. Rather, challenge your limitations. You're capable of so much more. You are, each and every one of you, not some of you, all of you are capable of more. Even in this challenge, you're capable of more, okay? Do everything to the best of your ability. Do everything to a T as closely as possible. I know there's a few of you I talked to today, you know who you are, where we were like, okay, yeah, we discovered some problems here and problems there with measuring food and family dynamics, etc., and why that turned out to be a little bit hard for you. Let's figure out every little bit that we could improve upon and take advantage of that, okay? And again, if you want to sit down with me personally one-on-one, or we can have a phone call even if you like, video chat, we can do that as well, okay? I'm more than happy to. So it's a 14-minute one. Positive energy, positive vibes, believe in yourself, for the love of God, give some gratitude, and I'll talk to you guys all very soon. Have a wonderful weekend. Day 44 tomorrow. Wow. See you.